Hey guys, we are the Alone in the Dark podcast. I'm Mikey.
Matty.
Make sure to like and subscribe.
And hit that notification bell so you always know when the new episode drops.
We are here to talk about VHS tapes and mostly my collection because, Matt, as you and I, sort of were younger, we had VHS tapes, right?
Lots of them.
Lots of them. And I know I got rid of all of mine, basically, and I think you hung on to one of yours that we're going to talk about
maybe
tonight.
one or two. That's it.
But
it's sad, man. Really sad.
It's really sad because I have such fond memories of owning VHS tapes and collecting VHS tapes. So to think that I had a lot of the tapes we're going to talk about tonight and I got rid of them is tough. You
hard. Had to reacquire them essentially.
Yes. But I'm really proud of my collection, and I know anytime I buy a new one on eBay or find one somewhere, I always message you, and you and I kind of geek out and get excited about it. It's super fun. So we're gonna kind of talk about sort of the lore of VHS for people that don't really have VHS tapes and just sort of know the aesthetic of it and think it's cool looking. But for me, I remember going to West Coast Video. Back in the day, there was a local West Coast Video in New Jersey, and just that feeling of, you picture the movie Scream and, the whole scene where they're in the Blockbuster and just walking through just that, all those shelves, just just thinking about it, I get really, really happy to think of that, how special that was to go into a video store and pick up a tape and hold it in your hands, look at the cover, and say, ooh, what is this? I want to check this out, So
just never for a moment thinking that, man, this isn't going to last forever.
Right. I know.
Like, I'm not always going to be able to do this.
Absolutely. To think of that, that's the scary part. Back then, we didn't know how good we had it. You know what I mean? And how special
we visited. Yeah, but we visited so frequently that we definitely got our visits in for sure.
Oh, yeah.
We have it up here. Like, we relive it over and over again. The smell, the sounds that when you walked in, it's all that sensory detail stuff,
Yeah, absolutely.
Like you heard somebody talking about a movie in this aisle, and you were heading straight for the horror section. Like, that's where we were going.
Yep.
And we knew exactly where it was in the video store, wherever we were. We knew the geography of the store, so we knew where we had to get to, what we had to traverse, people that had to get on, that were all getting the new releases up front. You had to kind of go around them, and then the candy aisle was there. I mean, it was just a treasure trove of just magic and everything. It was just so informative, so formative.
It was great. So what was the video store that you went to mostly?
I think, was it National Video in Middletown?
Mm-hmm.
Was it? Yeah, National Video was one I frequented quite often.
That's a good one.
It's funny, when I got to college, this is in the 90s, at Penn State University, they had a chain of three. They called them Mike's Videos, Mike's Video Shop. And there's, in Penn State's a humongous campus, main campus, and they actually had three locations just on the campus.
Oh wow!
One was like slightly just off. One was like right in the dead center of campus, and it was awesome, dude, because you had to walk down street level to get to it, like down below.
Yeah,
like it was New York City almost. It was so cool.
That's
you had
so
to go
cool.
Underneath, like into the to the belly of the beast, to go to this video store.
Yeah.
And I would just go to every single one of them, just and rent.
So awesome.
It was awesome.
So Matt, over the years, I have collected a pretty big collection of VHS tapes, and it's mostly movies. I have some movies that I'm not super crazy about, but it's mostly movies that I really love. So we're going to talk about, we're going to do a two-parter. So this is part one, but we're going to talk about half of like we're going to go alphabetical. These are the movies that really mean a lot to me, and there's kind of some cool stories involved with them that I know you're a part of as well. So let's get to it, Matt. The first one I'm going to pull out is a movie that you and I loved, and for years we were like, when are they going to release this on Blu-ray? And we were so happy when Scream Factory came out with April Fool's Day. So April Fool's Day is such a special tape because you and I love this cover, right? Look at this cover. It's
so great.
It's so great. The noose and the hair, the party, you see all the characters. This movie is such a joy, right? Because you've got such a fun roller coaster ride of a film, right? It's so special and so cool.
Great cast. I mean, it's big production.
Very big production.
I think Sean S. Cunningham, right, produced it.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Great locations, great characters. You have Biff from
Back to the Future.
From Back to the Future in there. Yep.
And you know what I love about collecting VHS tapes, Matt, is when you're lucky. These are my favorites. You know, some people are like, oh, I want it to be pristine in the wrapper. You know, I don't want it to be touched. I love the ones that are from a video store and they have the sticker on them. So this is the one, one of the ones I wanted to talk about tonight because this one's from a video store called The Video Den, and it's in where is this one from? It's in Ohio, but it has the phone number on it. The address, but you can look. It's just so cool to see these video store stickers still intact.
I love them.
I just love the history of that, and to think, like, it even has like the barcode here. You know how they used to scan these. To think that this was brought home to so many people, you know, in the COVID days, it's probably like, oh God, I don't want to touch it, but
right.
But I love it. I love when you can see that and just be like, imagine, like, I want to like know, like, so that's why I wanted to do this. If anybody has been to this video store or knows about this video store in the comments, you know, if we mention these video stores, please tell us about it, because I'd love to know the history behind that video store. So first one I wanted to mention was April Fool's Day. That's a special one. Because
this sounds really weird, Mike, but I got to tell you, man, I'm, as you know, I mentioned sensory details before, and I'm a smeller. I'm the guy who walks into the bookstore and I grab the book off the shelf and I bury my nose in it to smell the print. Strangely enough, there were some videos that you would rent, and it sounds real, like I said, like you said before.
Right.
You know, now it's skeevy to think about it, but some of them had a peculiar, but a really cool smell to them.
Yeah.
And I can't. It sounds so, like fetishistic almost and horrible, but
I know what you mean.
Some of them had that great. I don't know, that box smell or something, man. It's just it's phenomenal.
Well, that
I'll
was
just
like
never forget
cassettes back in the day. Like when you get a new cassette, it had this like. It was almost like a sweet smell, kind of, right?
Absolutely.
And it was like, it's so recognizable. Like it's mostly.
It was like a high that you got.
Yeah,
almost.
yeah, absolutely. It was so great. You know, it's like a thing. Like in the digital age now, we don't get that. You know what I mean? And it's unbelievable. So I totally know what you mean. But I laugh because, you know, we've gone to bookstores in the past, and that's the first thing you would do is pick up the book and smell it. And I would always just laugh.
What? Yeah, I do, man. It's something that just print is. It's just, oh man, it just sucks you right in. I can't help it. It's one of those things.
Yeah. Second VHS, this one's cool because this is an original, like there's, you know, obviously just like a book, there's like different prints of a VHS tape, right? So there's different releases, just like DVDs and stuff, you know, like, oh, which version do you have? You know what I mean? So this one's cool because I know that this is the original VHS printing of this movie. And it's a movie that you and I love to watch in the fall. It's John Carpenter's Christine.
Oh, man, look at that. That's the original box.
That's the original box. And you can tell because of some of the boxes, like April Fool's Day comes out through the bottom, right?
Right.
Christine this is a rare thing. It has a side flap, you know, like that. So the side flap comes out and it comes out the side.
Yes.
And you can
I would say about 85% of them come out the bottom, pretty much.
Yes. I think they call them full flap is what they call this VHS. But you can see the age of this just by looking at the label. It's pretty worn in.
Oh, look at that, man. That's beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
But I love just unique boxes like this full flap, you know, with the side release.
You got to rewind that sucker, Mike. You got to make sure you rewind that sucker.
I know. Be kind. Please rewind. But yeah, this one's great. There's like a marking on it. The letter J's on there. Maybe your brother Jay rented it at some point. I don't even know. But I love this movie. And look, it even has like the old sales sticker there that, you know, that somebody just cut. But this red sort of border on it is what makes this unique. You know what I mean? It's super cool. And then
it's a fantastic cover.
You get some great images.
You get
on
Moochie
the back.
running. Is the Moochie running?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. In the right bottom. Yeah.
It's so awesome. So I love this printing of this tape. This one's really cool. I love this part of this is another great one in my collection. Next grouping. Oh, you know what I just caught? Oh, this is great. We didn't talk about this on April Fool's Day. Look at the sticker on the bottom of this April Fool's Day. Speaking of rewind.
That's rad, dude. That is so rad. Look at that.
Please rewind, dude. How cool is that? It's so awesome. The next grouping is this. When I started recollecting VHS tapes, I knew I wanted to have the complete Friday the 13th collection. I had to. And I was lucky enough to find one guy on eBay that was selling the whole collection. Besides, which ones did I buy recently? Jason Goes to Hell and Jason X and Freddy vs. Jason were the only ones that I had to buy separately. So I bought the entire collection, and they're like almost like brand new. I'll show you a few. I'm not going to show every single one, but they are in such good condition.
Wow.
They're barely touched. So here's the original Friday the 13th. You can just tell by the glossiness of the box how nice it is. If I tilt it into the light here a little bit, you'll see. Pristine, very, very nice condition. I got super lucky with these tapes. The tapes are pretty perfect, spot on. I got to rewind this one as well.
You know what I always loved about the original Friday? The pictures they chose to put on the back of the box are just so I don't know, man, right?
Yeah, it's a little odd, right?
It doesn't really tell you a lot about the film at all.
No, especially the top picture. It's weird. It's like a girl learning how to.
Well, yeah, the arrows going into but I do like that because it's such a mystery anyway to be unraveled in the movie. So I like that they don't give anything away.
And then we'll look at just two of our favorites. You know what I mean? To look at part 5 and part 6 side by side. It's pretty awesome. These are great too, and they're, like I said, they have the Paramount logo on the side, which is really cool. Part 6 is definitely one of our favorites, you know what I mean? And this one is just perfect. But whoever I bought these from just kept them in such great condition. They look at that. These weren't, I don't think these were rental store. These were, purchased from, from a retailer. You can tell that they're so clean that it's
Mike,
almost...
that may be the one I got rid. Honestly, mine were that clean because I keep things very nice.
Yeah, I know you do.
When I got rid of them, mine was that nice.
Yeah. And you got the great cover art, part 5. You know what I mean?
Man.
I love these. This collection, I got so lucky because now, I sort of track on eBay and just to see how much these things are worth. You know what I mean? People are selling these Friday the 13th collections, where they have every single tape.
Every one.
Not as near in good condition, and they're definitely in the hundreds of dollars. Which
really, hundreds?
Yeah, I've seen them for $150, probably. Up to $200 for the whole set, which is pretty cool. Next tape I want to show. Now, this is kind of cool that I love this kind of stuff. Our friend J Plus, who we met at the John Carpenter concert in New York
July
City.
of 2016, yes.
We befriended him, and he knew of the podcast that we do, and he was nice enough last year to send this to both of us. Do you have a VHS player anymore?
I actually do have a way of playing VHS.
Oh, okay.
I have a combo player.
I'm going to lend
and
this to you next time I see you. But J Plus made these tapes called the Halloween... what is it called? The Mega Mix.
Mixtape, right?
And it's volume 1. And he printed this out himself, these labels and stuff, which is so cool. You get the image from Halloween 3 there.
3.
But it's like a mix of... There's the label he printed on here. It's just a mix of
a greatest hits.
Yeah, it's like clips from movies. Remember back in the day, you used to go to a costume shop around Halloween, and they'd have a VHS tape, and it was play this at your Halloween party, kind of like a Halloween mixtape, like you said. But it's video clips of just horror movies and stuff.
I used to make through using 2 VCRs. I used to try to make my own mixtape on VHS.
Dude, are you serious?
Yeah, man.
That's awesome.
I used to try.
That's
very
so
unsuccessfully,
cool.
But I used to try it.
Look at you, man. You had your own
wanted to
dubbing
do it.
station there. You were making your own stuff. So Jay was so nice to give this to us, which is so cool. So I'm going to lend this to you, Matt. You have to watch it. It's so much fun. Super cool. Next tape. Well, actually, you have a tape there. You want to talk about yours real quick? Because this is one I used to own and I got rid of. And I'm so jealous that you kept yours.
Well, in 1998, they did release the 20th anniversary of John Carpenter's Halloween because it came out in 78. So 98, they released the 20th anniversary, and you had the double.
I love this
VHS tape, and it came with the snow globe.
Yes, which I still have. Thank God.
Yeah, you have the snow globe, but you don't have the.
No, I got rid of this.
What's really cool about this one, Mike, is you had it open that way, right? Yeah, and you have of course, it's orange VHS.
You got to pull these out because this is my favorite part, that they're orange.
So.
So great.
That's the limited edition. There you can see this is the video cassette number 2.
Love it.
They're beautiful. They're beautiful. They're all queued up and rewound.
Oh, so great.
And it's pretty cool because it came with this nifty little everyone is entitled to one good scare little booklet.
Oh, it's so cool.
Anniversary booklet, and has some really great like photos and stuff.
Yeah, I love it.
You know, and it has the very famous, really cool shot, like the one, like that one is kind of cool.
Oh yeah, with the knitting needle in his neck, it's so great.
Oh yeah, man! It had, and it was almost like the lobby cards.
Yes.
I want to say that probably came with it, and they do like a compilation of them. And there's our buddy.
Oh, Loomis, so cool.
I met him 15 years ago. I was told that was so. This is a really, really awesome. By the way, I got number 9,418 out of 40,000 made.
Wow.
You can see that's my number, right?
Yeah.
Pretty cool, right?
It's so cool.
So only 40,000 of these. I don't know how many are in a garbage dump or somewhere in the bottom of a.
Well, mine's in a garbage dump, Matt, which is really sad.
Dude, so how is yours in a garbage dump?
I'm such an idiot, Matt. I just got rid of it. You know, it was definitely, oh, look at that, dude. I love just the simplicity of it. Look at in big, bold letters, VHS. It's so great.
Yeah, that is amazing. Like
I know. I'm kicking myself. I'm glad I didn't get rid of the snow globe. At least I didn't get rid of that. But if I still had those tapes, it'd be great. And to
is this a moving story?
No. Well, yeah, it was probably with my move from my parents' house to my house. You know what I mean? I just was kind of, you know how it is. You just you're
of course
throwing stuff, left and right just to get rid of, just to make your move easier. So that was definitely something that I had to do. The next tape I want to talk about, Matt, staying on the Halloween vibe here, we're going to be in Halloween for a little bit, is the Halloween, they re-released the, I forget what year this was that they did this anniversary, but we have the DVD of this, but I had to get the VHS because I saw it. It's the hologram version.
Yes.
Because we have this on DVD, right?
Yeah, I have the DVD. I
have it as well. But I saw somebody was selling this VHS hologram version,
awesome.
and I was like, I got to get it on VHS, which is so cool. So when was this? Was this 25th, Matt, that they did this? Or
it may have been 2003, maybe?
Maybe, yeah.
That would be 25th. Yeah, it could have been.
But this one also comes with a card, and it's a postcard that comes with Jamie Lee Curtis.
Love that picture so much.
Yeah, and there's just like a postcard there, which is kind of cool. So they had that in the set, which was great. So I got this one on eBay, I believe, as well. Oh, no, this one was Facebook Marketplace. Someone was selling it. And I just happened to see it, and I was like, I got to get this. So super cool. This was really cool. But like I said, we have this on VHS. I mean, on DVD as well.
DVD, yep. DVD.
But I had to add that to my collection. So the next tape I want to talk about, now this is super, super special. We have so many great people that listen to the podcast, like Jay, who gave us that Halloween mixtape. But this is probably the most special gift we have gotten from like a listener of the podcast. Our good friend Boston Sean, we that's what he's called on Instagram, and he lives up in New England. He takes amazing photographs of sports cars and cars in general. He's a really good photographer. He knows how much we love Halloween 4 because Matt and I have talked about it before. We did a commentary for it.
Yes, we did.
So Boston Sean used to go to this one Blockbuster up in Salem, Massachusetts, right? Or no, it was in Lynn, Massachusetts, I believe.
Linwood or Lynn? Yes.
Lynn, yeah, Lynn.
Okay.
So Halloween 4 from Blockbuster. This is the actual tape that people, would rent. He knew how much we loved it, and he just gave it to us. He was like, "Here, you guys, I want you to have it." So we take it out of the clamshell here. You have the Blockbuster sticker on there.
Of course. Look at that label, man.
Label. Look at that, dude. I remember seeing that
Fox
so
label.
many times back in the day, right?
I would just sniff that label, Mike.
Doesn't have the side label. That's gone. But you don't need it, man. When you have a special, tape like this, right from that Blockbuster in Lynn, Massachusetts, which is right close. It's really close to Salem, Massachusetts, which is cool.
Yeah.
I love this, man. This is so nice. So Boston
I was just
Sean,
so touched when he sent that to us, man. That was amazing.
So awesome. So I'll have to lend you this and the J Plus mixtape, Maddie, so you can.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'll lend them to you, bud.
All right.
So sticking with Halloween and just talking about something besides the VHS tapes that have the rental store like printing or logo or, the video store. I love these video store promo tapes. Now,
Yes.
I know you know what these are. Some people might not know what they are, but back in the day, when a video store, they were a lot of like mom and pop video stores, right? So in order for
Tons.
like a production company would send them like a promo tape, like a demo almost, to be like, here, check this movie out and then consider buying
Preview copy almost.
Yeah, it was like a preview copy, and they would send it to the store to be like, hey, buy 5 or 10 copies for your store, but check it out first. Here's a copy. So I have a couple versions of this, and we'll get into another one in part 2. But this is another movie that you and I love. It's Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers, Halloween 6. Now you'll notice that it says right on here demo tape, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Up top it says earned over 15 million with an exclamation point, which is kind of neat. When you flip it over, that's where you really see the difference. So here is the video store, sort of facts about the movie, and I'll read some of these. It says the final and most terrifying Halloween, which is funny that they call it the final. And it says series earnings total over 200 million. Open number 2 at the box office. I love how that's their claim to fame, their bragging point. Opened at number 2. And then it's just so funny. Like it has favorite original characters, and it's got a picture of Loomis and Michael Myers, which is so funny. See it right there?
Yes.
It's so great. And then it says horror sequels mean hot rentals. Previewed on Pulp Fiction and From Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, which is so funny. And I love...
That's right, because October 21st of 94 is when Pulp Fiction came out, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And this came out in 95.
Yes. Yeah.
So they had the
previews
already.
there, yeah.
Yes.
It's pretty cool, but I love the bright orange, printing on this. And look at the, this is cool too. Look at the actual label on the VHS tapes.
Dude.
It's like really poppy kind of orange.
The scariest Halloween of them all. That was the big
That was it.
quote on this one.
I know. So I love these demo tapes because they're unique. So I have a couple versions from different movies of this that we'll get to in part 2, but I just wanted to mention this one, which was kind of neat.
Oh, that's fantastic. I don't know if I've ever seen that one.
I've taken pictures of it before on Instagram.
You've talked about it, but I've never seen it.
It's cool. I just love the difference because I have the regular version of this. Actually, let me grab it so I can show it to you. So just to compare these two, Matt, this is the screener version.
Yes.
And this is the regular version. Okay. So that's the cover. You can see how it's different. The back obviously is very different because this has all the facts on it and this just has the information about the movie.
I love the knife, though.
Yeah, the knife is so great. And then, the biggest difference obviously is the tape itself. It would have been cool if the screener tape was orange, but when you compare these two, you have the pop of the orange in the one, and then the other one is just your typical, just has the information Halloween, you know what I mean? But
yep.
It's just cool. I just think it's really neat. I just love collecting these different versions, you know what I mean?
That's really, dude, I love that. That's so unique to have that.
It's just cool. Yeah, it's really cool. I kind of seek them out, because you can search on eBay, just put in like screener copy, you know what I mean, and it'll come up, which is pretty neat. So
that's so awesome.
So we got 3 more tapes we're going to talk about, Matt, before we end this one, and we'll get to part 2 next. This is kind of a cool special tape that not a lot of people have, but it is the Horror Effects hosted by Tom Savini, which is really cool.
And look at it. Yes.
This is super fun because I remember seeing this tape in a lot of my costume shops back in the day when I was a kid. I remember they would have this on display around Halloween time, just in the background, they'd have like a little TV with a VHS, those smaller TVs like I have.
Yeah.
And they would just have this looping, like buy the makeup stuff. So they would try to sell these so you could buy makeup and do your own makeup around Halloween time.
You know where you could probably find a couple of those nowadays?
Where?
In Pittsburgh at his school, I bet you they have.
Oh my God! Yeah, imagine it's probably behind a glass case, though. I would imagine, or something.
I
imagine
I mean? He has one that he plays though, and probably shows.
Yeah, which would be super cool. But look at this picture of Tom on there; it's so great, dude. He's just grinning. It's pretty awesome.
He got some of his crowning achievements next to him there.
And then nothing too special about the actual tape. It just has a label on the front, that has information about it. But this is super cool to watch because it is very retro. I forget when this came out. It was like 80.
And how long is that? How long is the?
That's a good question. I think it's over. I want to say it's at least an hour, maybe a little more.
I was going to say, because when we looked at the tape, it had like a big wheel, which means there wasn't so much tape around it.
Yeah. I think it's about an hour. It's not like a full 2 hours. So it's probably, half of a movie.
Right.
Oh no, it says 40 minutes, Matt.
Oh, there you go. So that
minutes,
makes sense.
So, yeah,
that makes sense.
It's a shorter version, but I just love. I love this tape because it's so unique. You know what I mean? It's cool, and it's actually you learn a lot. You watch this, and you just learn some of the simple effects that Tom Savini does, and just how to do makeup and stuff like that. It's super cool. So I'm really proud of this one. I love this one as well.
Awesome, man. It's very unique.
This is another. Okay. Next tape I'm going to talk about. Now, this is a movie come summertime, Matt, that you and I love and have always loved. And it's the Jaws.
There
and
it
now
is.
This is a first printing of Jaws as well, which is really cool. You can kind of tell. Another one, kind of like the Friday the 13th boxes. It's in really good condition. There's like just a little bend here, but it's gorgeous.
That's the MCA home video version, right?
Yeah, this is the MCA version, which you can see on the side there.
Yes.
Super, super cool,
Beautiful.
super clean. What's cool about this is the box is super clean, but as you know, Matt, back in the day, video stores would take this box and they would put it away somewhere,
Right.
And keep it. If it was in a special place, it wouldn't get damaged or anything like that, like this box. But this is actually a rental tape. So this one is, you can see the "Please Be Kind" rewind sticker on there, which is awesome. This one is it's called Pomp and Go. How would you pronounce that, Matt? Popingo. Pop and Go video.
Yep. Pop and Go.
In Fargo, North Dakota.
How do you like that?
Super cool. So you can see the.
Speaking of which, Mike, you talked about the covers going away, and they put them like Blockbuster and
Yes.
places would put them in those their patented case or whatever.
Yeah, they're clamshells. Yep.
Yes, but what they did later, I think, like Hollywood Video may have done this before in the early 2000s, kind of right before the video store kind of went out in mass.
Yeah.
Is they put the actual cover in the harder plastic so you could see all the artwork.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes, I liked when they did that. I like that too. And then the tape would come out the bottom. Correct.
Yep. Yeah, I remember that. That was cool.
And you kind of had to squeeze it so that it came out.
Yes, you had to kind of squeeze the side and it would just pop out. Yeah, that was really cool. But again, I love these rental store versions. You know what I mean? It's just so cool. So just to have that rental store sticker on the side means a lot to me. It's just kind of cool,
And just to let people know too, what they did was they kind of put let's say if you hold up Jaws for a second there, Mike, they would have the Jaws tape there. And let's say you were in Blockbuster, they would have like several copies of their clamshells behind it. Like if there were certain ones available, they would have like 20 of them. Or if there was only one or two, it was such an exciting thing because if you walked in and you really wanted to rent something, and you found it, and you're like, oh, I got the last one.
Yeah,
it was like
especially
the
I
most
was going to say,
thing.
if it was the last one, you were just like, yes, you know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
Especially if it was the movie that you had in mind to rent that night, and there was one copy left. It was like winning the lottery, right? It was.
Like, you made a scene in the store, and people would turn and look at you. But they know they did the same thing.
Nowadays, you can just stream a movie. You know what I mean? If it's out there, you can just be like, get it. There's no excitement of like, I got the last one, or you know what I mean?
I know, it was so exciting.
It was so cool.
It's hard to describe, but I'm just trying to share with some people that if they're watching this for the first time, and really kind of not haven't been in a video store proper in their life, it was just a moment that
the experience
was so joyful,
right?
So
the
joyful.
Experience of like, I just remember Friday nights going to West Coast Video and just spending my night. Like I would be in there. My dad would be like, "All right, let's go." I'd be in there for like over an hour, just like looking, like, Because
I talk about the joy, Mike, but more times than not, you went in there and the case is there and there's no tapes behind it and it was out.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Piggybacking off of what you said, it was almost exciting not to get that movie because then the anticipation of like next week, when your parents would take you, you'd be like, is it going to be there? You know what I mean? So
I'll come a little earlier, like you're planning.
Right. Yeah. And you'd like have an ongoing list, right, of all the movies you'd want to watch,
100%.
Oh, it was so great. So I got one more tape for part one here, Matt, that we're going to talk about. And this kind of ties into, we do a screening, right, Matt, called Friday Night Frights in Atlantic Highlands, New Jersey.
Yes.
at the Atlantic Movie House, which is super fun.
Great theater.
So we do it once a month. It's one of the like last remaining small town theaters in New Jersey, I think. So we've been doing it for a while now, and we showed My Bloody Valentine, and we just showed The Thing.
The Shining. I'm sorry, The Thing. Yes.
The Thing, yep. But this month in April, what is it, 22nd, I believe?
April 22nd, Friday, yep.
We are showing this film, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Now, I've got a story about this, which, you know this story. It just kills me. I had the first printing of Killer Clowns from Outer Space that I bought from a antique store in a town called Red Bank that you and I go to look for vinyl and stuff like that. The original Killer Clowns was sitting there, and I think I bought it for $5. And that tape, like an idiot, like when I was just like, oh, I need cash, I sold that for probably $60 or $70, which I was like, oh, this is great. Which is great, but it's killing me because I want that tape now, because now I have this Midnight Movies reprint, that they did in, I think, the 90s or something like that.
They did, but and it's funny because every time we go to the Antique Center in Red Bank, right?
Yeah.
We're going and we're record shopping, and it's a great time. But honestly, secretly, Mike is looking for that lost or that next find. And one of the things is that Killer Clown. Like, he's just thinking that someday he'll pass by that same spot where he got it.
Right.
And there'll be another one there waiting for him.
I was just there the other day. Remember I talked to you on the phone, and I went back. And I actually got Dawn of the Dead, which was great.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did.
The 78 Dawn of the Dead, right?
Yes. Yeah, which was cool. That was on VHS, so that was cool.
Very cool.
So I found that tape, but I didn't find this tape, which would have bummed me out. So I had to rebuy this, and the cool thing about this, I do have to open it, but this is sealed. So this is one of those rare VHS tapes that's sealed. Now, if it was the original version, it would have been extra special, but still kind of cool that it's sealed.
That's sealed,
yeah,
sure.
Yeah, which is kind of neat. But I love collecting these. They're super fun. It's just like, it's a nostalgia thing for me and for you, right? It's just like, and you and I are big into physical media, so
yes,
this goes along with, and I don't just have these on my shelf. Like, I actually watch these. Like,
of course you do.
If I have a choice, sometimes I'll throw in the VHS, because there's something special about that, seeing it in that, that kind of squarish ratio, you know what I mean? And just sort of watching it with the sort of the
tracking issues. The
tracking issues, and just the super not clear version that you get from a Blu-ray. It's kind of nice to see it in that sort of messier look, you know what I mean? So it's enjoyable. So well, we're definitely going to do a part 2, Matt, which will be super fun, but I hope you guys enjoyed this segment. And if you do, please comment below, and make sure, again, that you like and subscribe to our channel. And as Matt said, hit those bell notifications, so that way when we do release the part 2 and other videos, you guys will be notified. And also check out the podcast, because I think if you like this video, you will definitely like our podcast. We are a nostalgia-based podcast. We talk about horror movies, top 5 lists. We do In the World of episodes. We do Class of episodes, where we talk about a certain year in horror. What else do we do, Matt?
Yeah, a lot of our own experiences are woven into it as well. So I think that makes us kind of unique in a way too.
Yep. So we will see you guys for part 2, and thanks for watching.
Hey, thanks.